This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of whom the world ignorantly calls God in the ancient Hebrew, which means he exists. And Yahweh Shai is the name of whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ in the ancient Hebrew, which means he saves or he delivers. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who continue to rule well and teach well, leading the flock by example. Shalom to the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the elect of the nation of Israel. Honors and salutations goes out to the brothers pushing this gospel the world over in sincerity and in truth. Adawan Ratazah, which means Lord willing. So Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So the reason why I brought out the book of Psalms chapter 83 verse 15 is because I came across this article from endtimeheadlines.org. Okay, as you can see on the screen, it's a very recent article, and the headline speaks volumes for itself, really. It says, flooding in eastern Libya leaves 2,000 people feared dead. Okay, and a couple of days ago, we all know, all right, of the massive earthquake, 6.8 earthquake that took place, all right, in northwest Africa, in the country of Morocco. Okay, so it's clear and evident that we're in the times of judgment, and judgment coming from Yahweh Shemel Shai, okay, which is his way of visiting the earth and visiting, the inhabitants of the earth, all right, through his judgments. Okay, so expect, more of this to play out from here on out. All right, so it says Mediterranean storm Daniel caused devastating floods in Libya that swept away entire neighborhoods and wrecked homes in multiple coastal towns in the east of the North African nation. As many as 2,000 people were feared dead, one of the country's leaders said Monday. Okay. It says the destruction appeared greatest in Derna, a city formerly held by Islamic extremists, in the chaos that has gripped Libya for more than a decade and left it with crumbling and inadequate infrastructure. All right, there you go, man. That's these people being punished, man. Okay, you had ISIS, you had ISIL. All right. Okay. Is it the Islamic State of Iraq and Libya? If I remember correctly, if that's what it stands for. All right. Okay. But either way, these heathens are getting judged. Okay, it says Libya remains divided between two rival administrations, one in the east and one in the west, each backed by militias and foreign governments. The confirmed death toll from the weekend flooding stood at 61 as of late Monday. Okay, so that's going to increase. All right, according to health authorities, but the tally did not include Derna, which had become inaccessible, and many of the thousands missing there were believed carried away by waters. Video by residents of the city posted online showed major devastation. Entire residential areas were erased along a river that runs down from the mountains to the city centre. Multi-story apartment buildings that once stood well back from the river were partially collapsed into the mud. Okay. It says in a phone interview with Al Masah television station Monday, Prime Minister Osama Hamad of the East Libyan government said 2,000 were feared dead in Derna and thousands were believed missing. He said Derna has been declared a disaster zone. Ahmed al-Mosmari, a spokesman for the country's armed forces based in the east, told the news conference that the death toll in Derna had surpassed 2,000. He said there were between 5,000 and 6,000 reported missing. Al-Mosmari attributed the catastrophe to the collapse of two nearby dams, causing a lethal flash flood. Alright. And either way, this is of the Lord. Okay. Since the 2011 uprising that toppled and later killed long-time ruler Muammar Gaddafi, or Colonel Gaddafi, Libya has lacked a central government, and the resulting lawlessness has meant dwindling investment in the country's roads and public services, and also minimal regulation of private building. The country is now split between rival governments in the east and west, each backed by an array of militias. Okay, and then Gaddafi, he was, trying to bring forth a currency, to liberate Africa basically from European powers. All right. Okay, by you know have the currency of Africa being backed by its own natural resources, which would actually basically bankrupt the European economy and their powers, which is why they had to get rid of him. Okay. Plus, he did a lot of things that was positive. Okay, for his nation as well. All right, which you can look up as well. All right, he advocated for like free healthcare and electricity and things like that. Okay, and even the literacy levels within that country. Okay, improved as well. All right, that's why they had to take him out. It says Derna itself, along with the city of Sirte, was controlled by extremist groups for years, at one point by those who pledged allegiance to the Islamic State group, until forces loyal to the East-based government expelled them in 2018. At least 46 people were reported dead in the eastern town of Beda. Abdel Rahim Mazek, head of the town's main medical center, said. Another 7 people were reported dead in the coastal town of Susa in northeastern Libya, according to the Ambulance and Emergency Authority. 7 others were reported dead in the towns of Shahat and Omar al-Mokhtar, said Osama Abdul Jalil, health minister. 1 person was reported dead Sunday in the town of Marj. Okay. Here's a clip of the flooding. Alright. So the Lord has seen this wickedness, man. He's seen it all. Alright. That's why judgment is being handed down. Okay. And it's, time for our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians, West Indians and Haitians, right, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, to return back, to your power, right, more so now than ever, alright, and in the wintertime, or approaching the wintertime rather, okay, things are, gonna get even harder, alright, okay, so let's get 2nd Esdras chapter 8, and verse 50, alright, which reads, For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, which are in the later times now, alright, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Okay, these people have certainly walked in great pride, man. Alright, they've walked in great pride, alright, and these people think they've got it all. They've got it all locked down, man. They feel like they don't need the Most High. Alright, they've got everything sussed out and sorted for themselves. Alright, okay. So the only way for these people to be humbled is to have judgments like this being played out. All right, to humble that pride. Okay, that's the only way that can sort this. You know. Let's get Amos chapter 5, verse 24, which reads, "But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream." All right, and ironically, man, you know, with the flood, all right, that was the flood of judgment. Okay, running down as waters. All right, okay, because these people are far from righteousness, man. All right. Again, it happened, just after, the Moroccan earthquake. All right. Let's get a couple more, and then we can close it down. All right. Second Edges chapter 15 and verse 5. "Behold, saith the Adawan, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." Okay, death and destruction has certainly been wrought upon these people. All right, and more death to come because it's climbing. All right, okay, expect sicknesses. All right, to come from this. Okay, infections in the water. All right, poor living conditions. Coupling that together. All right, especially in a country that in certain areas maybe a lot poorer and don't have all the resources together to you know to bounce back from. Okay, all right, in healthcare too. Second Edges 16 and 14. "Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." That's right, man. So Yahweh Shemel has dispatched the plagues. Okay, all right, okay. And once they're sent out, man, they can't return back. All right. Once the Lord has spoken it, it must happen. Once the Lord has said it, it must happen. It must come to pass. All right. And these things are going to increase, man. Second Edges chapter 16 verse 37. "Behold, the plagues draw nigh, nigh meaning near, and are not slack." All right. So this is going to, become uncommon. All right. It's going to happen more and more. All right. So here we are. Flooding in eastern Libya leaves 2,000 people feel dead. All right. And let's get Psalm 83 and 15 again. All right. Psalm chapter 83 verse 15. "So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm." All right. And these people, this is what's causing them to be in fear. All right. To be afraid, man. All right. Because they can't drive away. All right. Things like this that take place. The only thing they can do is prepare. All right. So with that, end the lesson here. Closing out. Kal Halayim La Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right. Peace, blessings, citations to the house of David by Shadavadah. With that, shalom to the elect. Kwame Sharala wa Abad Babal. Shalom.